Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A way of acting or behaving. How something is done or how it happens. Her dignified manner. A kind. What manner of man are you? A way of acting or behaving. Make out of components, often in an improvising manner. She fashioned a tent out of a sheet and a few sticks. How something is done or how it happens. In an abrasive fashion. Characteristic or habitual practice. Consumer goods, especially clothing, in the current mode. The latest and most admired style in clothes and cosmetics and behavior. Any of various fixed orders of the various diatonic notes within an octave. The most frequent value of a random variable. A classification of propositions on the basis of whether they claim necessity or possibility or impossibility. Verb inflections that express how the action or state is conceived by the speaker. How something is done or how it happens. Their nomadic mode of existence. A particular functioning condition or arrangement. Switched from keyboard to voice mode. Designate by an identifying term. They styled their nation, the Confederate States. The popular taste at a given time. The 1920s had a style of their own. Distinctive and stylish elegance. A pointed tool for writing or drawing or engraving. How something is done or how it happens. In the characteristic New York style. A way of expressing something, in language or art or music etc. that is characteristic of a particular person or group of people or period. All the reporters were expected to adopt the style of the newspaper. A particular kind, as to appearance. This style of shoe is in demand. A slender bristle-like or tubular process. A cartilaginous style. Botany, the narrow elongated part of the pistil between the ovary and the stigma. Editorial directions to be followed in spelling and punctuation and capitalization and typographical display. Make consistent with a certain fashion or style. Style the dress. Make consistent with certain rules of style. Style a manuscript. Space for movement. Make way for. A course of conduct. We went our separate ways. Thing or person that acts to produce a particular effect or achieve an end. The true way to success. A line leading to a place or point. Didn't know the way home. To a great degree or by a great distance. Very much, right smart, is regional in the United States. Way over budget. How something is done or how it happens. A lonely way of life. A general category of things, used in the expression, in the way of. They didn't have much in the way of clothing. A journey or passage. They are on the way. Any artifact consisting of a road or path affording passage from one place to another. He said he was looking for the way out. A portion of something divided into shares. They split the loot 3 ways. Doing as one pleases or chooses. If I had my way. The condition of things generally. That's the way it is. The property of distance in general. It's a long way to Moscow. Psychology. The aggregate of the responses or reactions or movements made by an organism in any situation. Manner of acting or controlling yourself. The action or reaction of something, as a machine or substance, under specified circumstances. Behavioral attributes. The way a person behaves toward other people. Behavioral attributes. The way a person behaves toward other people. Behavioral attributes. The way a person behaves toward other people. Behavioral attributes. The way a person behaves toward other people. Transmit or serve as the medium for transmission. Many metals conduct heat. Take somebody somewhere. He conducted us to the palace. Lead, as in the performance of a composition. Conduct an orchestra. Barenboim conducted the Chicago Symphony for years. Manner of acting or controlling yourself. Direct the course of, manage or control. You cannot conduct business like this. Behave in a certain manner. They conducted themselves well during these difficult times. Behavioral attributes. The way a person behaves toward other people. Lead musicians in the performance of. Bernstein conducted Mahler like no other conductor. Psychology. The aggregate of the responses or reactions or movements made by an organism in any situation. Manner of acting or controlling yourself. The action or reaction of something, as a machine or substance, under specified circumstances. The behavior of small particles can be studied in experiments. Behavioral attributes. The way a person behaves toward other people. A construct whereby objects or individuals can be distinguished. Self-confidence is not an endearing property. Any movable articles or objects used on the set of a play or movie. Something owned. Any tangible or intangible possession that is owned by someone. That had as my property. Any area set aside for a particular purpose. The president was concerned about the property across from the White House. A basic or essential attribute shared by all members of a class. The visual appearance of something or someone. A perceptual structure. The composition presents problems for students of musical form. The phonological or orthographic sound or appearance of a word that can be used to describe or identify something. The inflected forms of a word can be represented by a stem in a list of inflections to be attached. Make something, usually for a specific function. Any spatial attributes, especially as defined by outline. Establish or impress firmly in the mind. A body of students who are taught together. Create, as an entity. Social groups form everywhere. Biology. A group of organisms within a species that differ in trivial ways from similar groups. A category of things distinguished by some common characteristic or quality. Sculpture is a form of art. A life-size dummy used to display clothes. Develop into a distinctive entity. Alternative names for the body of a human being. The spatial arrangement of something is distinct from its substance. To compose or represent. This wall forms the background of the stage setting. Give shape or form to. form the young child's character. Physical chemistry, a distinct state of matter in a system. Matter that is identical in chemical composition and physical state and separated from other material by the phase boundary. A mold for setting concrete. They built elaborate forms for pouring the foundation. An ability to perform well. He was at the top of his form. An arrangement of the elements in a composition or discourse. The essay was in the form of a dialogue. A particular mode in which something is manifested. His resentment took the form of extreme hostility. A printed document with spaces in which to write. He filled out his tax form. Assume a form or shape. The water formed little beads. An operation that segregates items into groups according to a specified criterion. The bottleneck in mail delivery is the process of sorting. Arrange or order by classes or categories. Examine in order to test suitability. A category of things distinguished by some common characteristic or quality. An approximate definition or example. She wore a sort of magenta dress. A person of a particular character or nature. What sort of person is he? Agreeable, conducive to comfort. A dry climate kind to asthmatics. Tolerant and forgiving under provocation. Our neighbor was very kind about the window our son broke. A category of things distinguished by some common characteristic or quality. What kinds of desserts are there? Having or showing a tender and considerate and helpful nature, used especially of persons and their behavior. Kind to sick patients. A collection containing a variety of sorts of things. He had a variety of disorders. A show consisting of a series of short unrelated performances. A category of things distinguished by some common characteristic or quality. Noticeable heterogeneity. The range and variety of his work is amazing. A difference that is usually pleasant. He goes to France for variety. Biology. A taxonomic category consisting of members of a species that differ from others of the same species in minor but heritable characteristics. Dignified manner or conduct. Characteristic way of bearing one's body. The direction or path along which something moves or along which it lies. Dignified manner or conduct. Heraldry consisting of a design or image depicted on a shield. A rotating support placed between moving parts to allow them to move easily. Of a structural member, withstanding a weight or strain. Relevant relation or interconnection. Those issues have no bearing on our situation. Manner or conduct of a physician in the presence of a patient. A courteous manner. A courteous or respectful or considerate act. A courteous or respectful or considerate remark. The manner and dress of a fop or dandy. An expression of lack of respect. A lack of politeness. A failure to show regard for others, wounding the feelings or others. A manner that is rude and insulting. The manner and dress of a fop or dandy. A requirement of etiquette or custom. A mere formality. A manner that strictly observes all forms and ceremonies. The formality of his voice made the others pay him close attention. Compliance with formal rules. Courtroom formality. A manner that strictly observes all forms and ceremonies. The property possessed by a slope that is very gradual. Acting in a manner that is gentle and mild and even-tempered. His fingers have learned gentleness. A courteous manner. Freedom from constraint or embarrassment. A manner that does not take forms and ceremonies seriously. Dignified manner or conduct. Acting in a manner that is gentle and mild and even-tempered. Even in the pulpit there are moments when mildness of manner is not enough. Mercifulness as a consequence of being lenient or tolerant. Good weather with comfortable temperatures.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.